Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to the Beyond the Summit Hot Tub TI machine. And as you saw there, a lot of the fun time traveling content that we have in store and more to come, I think. I can't watch the show 24 hours to see what content they already released and have not released, so I figure most of it's been put out. But we have more coming. Guys, it is time for the hypest of hypes, winter bracket final, all right? We have Freedom. We have Digital Chaos, who just come off their sharp win. And we have Jack and Grant on our couch joining us. And apparently you guys are like the new popular thing, so whatever.
What up, these losers over here? It's me and you, dog. No, but I'm actually super excited. The games have been, I would say, a little slow-paced after the early game. I think we've been talking about it, but I think it really, that's how you have to play this current patch. I think NA is actually a little ahead in how these games are. If you watch, like, Danish Bears versus Singularity or it was something like that, like, their games are just all over the place. These games, you can see a clear meta coming. It's like, oh, get a lot of ganks in, get that early game advantage, and then like from 4K, 5K, just slowly gain that advantage and win the game. It might not be the most exciting, but it is definitely the meta right now.
I never thought I'd say this, but we're seeing more Bloodseeker, a lot more Bloodseeker in China than we are in NA.
Yeah, it's
never
awesome.
Thought that would ever be the case, but
yep. And I do want to give a shout out in the South American scene. Infamous is the first team in the grand finals, 2-0ing, I believe.
Probably Midas Club Elite.
Yeah, in the winners bracket, and then Mad Kings earlier as well. So they're 4-0, and they're playing with a disadvantage on Brazilian servers while they are Peruvians, and
they're in the grand final.
They're looking good. They are in the grand finals, one best of 5, and might see my boy Tomato playing at TI. That would be something else. That would make a lot of people angry, I think.
Is that King Tekka's team too?
Yep, King Tekka.
Oh, a lot of people get to see.
Jazz.
A lot of people get to see King Tekka in the flesh.
They don't understand.
That guy better watch out.
So
He's gonna
good,
get his
good luck
ass
to
beat probably.
Joe Kasani over there with Infamous, and also those guys used to play in NA tournaments too. Like Ben House, they used to play in these kind of CEVO and these other like tier 2 NA leagues. So
yep, and they're playing good. But
I mean, from the same
who cares about them? It's NA. It's Team Freedom. We have been watching them a little bit. I mean, they have only lost 2 games so far this tournament. One they definitely regret in Team Red, the very first game of the tournament. Me and Lacoste watched, and we both thought Freedom was. I thought they were going to be garbage after that. It was the very first game, and it was like they just lost to Red, and then like the rest of the day, it's like, oh, they've just beat every single good team in the tournament. One bad loss against Red kept them out, and then they had a chance to get NP, and they were they won one game against NP, and they were the closest in their second game too. So
Grant, I'm gonna hit you with some trivia.
Go.
Did you know that AUI briefly changed his name to something like "Thank You Team Red"?
He did.
On Team Red,
I don't think that's
buddy.
trivia because you gave me the answer, but thank you anyway.
Fun
Oh yeah, that's not
fact
how
with
trivia
Jack.
works actually. But yeah, his buddy Wilson, the Franz, old friends. They knew each other in the junior high school cafeteria. Who knew the heights of Dota that it would lead to someday? That budding power of friendship. And
Dakota, we don't even need to be here, right?
Nah,
These
let 'em
two
go,
can
man.
lead the show.
See
no,
you
you're
later.
the marine biologist. You always have to be here.
Speaking of which, though, I know hype is hype, but what makes it hyper than getting some sweet... Dude, I actually like... This isn't even sellout. The pink monster is actually so freaking delicious. I'm not a fan of some of the, the regular ones, but give me a pink, give me a red. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the new flavor. I don't want to in case I'm not, but that one is delicious as well. Not that I'm saying I've got the insider info with them, but...
I think
what
you
does
can.
pink sound taste like?
Juice plus fruit.
Juice fruit.
Yeah,
Didn't
I'd
try
say
it.
juice
So
fruit.
I'm sticking to my rehab.
The rehab. You do. A lot of people like the rehab, the tea, and all that. But after seeing DC, sorry, I was
Oh,
just
it's an actual flavor.
train
Oh,
track.
Can we after
no,
that
yeah, it is.
sellout
yeah,
moment?
I was very concerned. Lacoste.
No,
I wasn't sure what you were
Like,
talking about.
what happened with DC? They looked like garbage the first 2 days, like actual hot garbage. I'm not gonna lie. They lost to Star Boys. I'm not flaming anyone, but they should be better than
our
that.
last panel was putting some of that focus on someone like Forev for
Yeah.
that. Would you agree? I mean, like when Forev first came on the team, it was like, whoa, this guy's great. I don't know if he was like, I got to prove myself on this team. I don't know if anyone feels like they need to prove themselves to be on DC, but you are kind of the new kid on the squad, so he really stepped things up. But then what? Did he get comfortable? Did he slack off? Did the patch meta change and not end up so much in his favor? Or do you think it's something else entirely with DC and not Forev?
I still can't put my finger on it. Even after watching those last games versus Planet Odd, I mean, Planet Odd played pretty bad, but so did DC, I think, at the same time. I think Dubu and Forev have both kind of been off the map. I mean, no, Dubu only had 1 death last game, which is great for him, but it still feels like they have little impact. He had 3.1k like net worth, and you're 2 kills, 1 death, 13 assists. You should definitely have more than that
And
as
Frev
a
did
late
step
game.
up too.
Yeah, he definitely did step
Frev
up.
stepped up there.
It's just crazy, right? They had 2 bad days, but you have 1 good day. Now you're playing for the grand finals of NA. It doesn't matter what happened in those group stage or round robin stages.
I mean, this is an SCA team in NA clothing, right? If you look at the composition of the team, so really they got to show some.
What, are you serious? Mason and Bulba are 2 of the most NA players of all time.
Yeah.
They literally make up 5 players on this team.
Yeah.
And it's Bulba who's doing the draft. Who's calling the shots though in the game?
I
heard Mason will chime in, and Bulba
Yeah.
was saying like every time Mason chimes in, which is not often, you do listen because he's usually right.
Oh yeah, he's one of those guys.
So
who's
if they're calling the
quiet.
shots and they're making the draft, I mean,
Sorry.
they're
One
just
thing-
they're just pawns.
One thing that's been interesting about DC is that teams for a while were auto first banning Meepo against them. Remember that Meepo
Yeah,
knocking some teams
yeah.
out of the Kiev
Yeah.
last major qualifiers, but teams have been more willing to let that go recently. I think Freedom banned it third against them when they played in the group stage.
It was banned first,
Well-
at least in game 1 versus Planet Odd.
Some
guys
teams have been
see
letting
more?
it slip, and they haven't
Well-
been picking it. So
We talked about this on the last panel. I was the one who actually brought it up, and I was kind of down on the same line as you. But they made some good points. It's not also that teams are just avoiding the Meepo. It's they do welcome it because it might not just be Meepo's time now. When you're seeing dual and sometimes try mid lanes, and
Yeah, you can't just go and
You can't just
pick
do it.
Meepo every
Meepo
time.
into 3 heroes.
so you
yeah.
can't
it's
first
available.
phase it. You have to wait for the cards to align. Like, oh, they don't have many AOE. They don't have ways to stop Meepo.
Yeah.
But if teams have mostly been good enough to recognize that if they start drafting themselves and they, you get to that third phase or second phase, like, oh, we don't have enough good anti-Meepo tools, they'll ban it at that
Yeah,
point.
Last time I saw a bed losing with a Meepo, this is exactly how you play against him. You just pressure him in the lane, take his tower, ward the forest, maybe even block with sentries so he can't farm and just keep the pressure. You can't really go away with the pressure and just continue. And that's pretty much it. It's the hero that doesn't come back easily. He needs to shine around between, let's say, 10, 18, 20-minute mark. Have six slots probably.
Yeah, he's like an alchemist. Like you need to be 5,000 to 7,000 net worth ahead of the next person on that hero. And I think it was the Kiev major qualifiers, right? It was game 3 versus Complexity to qualify, or game 5. They first picked the Meepo and they still end up winning. But of course, with the new meta of tri-laning middle, a Meepo, even dual lane, Meepo's not going to win that lane. Meepo is going to get destroyed.
Well, the problem with Meepo, if you don't win a game with him before 30-minute mark, the hero just falls off. He comes to that critical mass, and after that, the hero just doesn't do anything. I mean, it's the same
go
Meepo
back.
20 minutes ago.
It worked better on the other camera.
I think you're good right there when he goes back. But he's looking good either way. Legion Commander's a hero that it went from getting, last picked, a Legion Commander, to yesterday, third picked Legion Commander, and it was first picked today in like 2 of the games.
MSS
Yeah, that hero
picked it a
is
couple
Legion
times.
Commander didn't
Moon
do
picked
much.
it, and then
He didn't do
right
much,
after that-
but, I mean, you pick him, all you need, right, is Blink, Blade Mail, and then maybe we saw, like, Black King Bar or Halberd. And that's all you need on that hero. You just want him to jump in, cast his stuff on somebody, lock one down. If both of them die, you're happy with that. A 4v4 fight, you still have your 2 major cores, and maybe you killed one of theirs. It's a really weird hero that's getting picked.
Problem
more
is
and more.
if he doesn't have a good lane, the hero doesn't flash farm, so his Blink Dagger is late. Also, if we saw, what was it, 10-minute Blink Dagger one game, he didn't have, 3 duels won until 30-minute mark. It's hard to find a fight.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't win your first duel and just roll from there, it's really hard. Especially if you're playing a hero like a Dazzle, you need to focus the Dazzle. If Dazzle is not showing up, also there was a lot of misplays there by Moon.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of misplays today, and a lot of them I've been chalking up to the fact that it's like, it's TI, high stakes, a lot of pressure,
it's NA.
nerves. And what did you just say? It's NA?
Well, I'm looking right now,
just,
and
just look at him and ask him to
leave the panel.
how do I bring this up without being too mean?
Man, I've been in NA for
I won't.
quite long. I don't know, 7 months already, and I'm starting to love it.
Yeah, he's been
I'm just
pretty much mostly casting American Dota
Yeah.
more than
Getting
anything
into
else.
the NA scene.
Yep. But who would have guessed? I mean, we talked about it a lot yesterday when we were casting Freedom NP. Who would have guessed Freedom is the almost clear number 2 best-looking team right now besides NP? Like, maybe they're not going to be, maybe they're going to fall apart in the series right now, but they're the only team I actually see besides NP in this, that has a clear plan throughout the entire game. Like, they gank early, they create more ganks mid-game, and then they win the late game. And, like, you saw Planet Odd versus DC right there. There was, like, 5 ganks before 10 minutes, and then it was just stagnant the whole time. Freedom makes ganks happen, even with this super slow meta right now, and it's really good by him.
You can go on. I'm just going to write down stuff
Oh, you're good. No,
about Freedom.
It's just the fact that you have a plan, like a clear plan. You can see what Freedom wants to do, and while the other teams are looking like they're just farming, they don't have a plan. Like, they misuse their maybe not misuse their smokes. They don't get anything out of their smoke ganks, while Freedom always does. Snake King stepped it up. CCNC has looked like, I might even say, the best mid, even better than Fada throughout the whole tournament. I mean, he really hasn't lost a lane. We saw the Ember versus Earthshaker lane. Earthshaker wins that lane, but it's still nice to see him play different heroes.
Yeah, and then the first time they played in a group stage, well, I would argue that Complexity and NP have kind of a game plan as well, but the first time they played in the group stage, Freedom dumpstered DC that first game.
Oh, it was a bad dumpstering, yeah.
So DC, it feels like they're a bit Jekyll and Hyde more than some other teams. I think, like, whether it's the draft execution, whether it's just that day, or sometimes the form is there, maybe if the communication is there, like, they can go from playing pretty well to just looking very mediocre at times. So it's kind of hard to say. I mean, remember back in Kiev, they had a really strong start in the group stage, and then that kind of didn't sustain further on.
Welcome to single elimination. Luckily, it's double elim right now in DC. They still have another life if they do lose. Freedom as well. So down the lower bracket too, it's Cole versus Planet Odd. It's not a match you thought was going to happen in the first row. I mean, one of them's eliminated the first game tomorrow, which is crazy. One of them is going to be disbanding. I mean, losing. I mean, well, who knows?
What is
After
so
that,
crazy about it? I mean, Cole didn't look good for.
Yeah, but I mean,
coming
coming into the tournament, I guess, like, would you expect Freedom to be in the position they're in right now over
you can
any of those?
Clearly, no.
Exactly. That's what I meant before the tournament.
Yeah,
now,
but,
absolutely, yeah.
Did you expect Cole to win a spot at TI?
I expected him to definitely compete a little bit harder than this because of Firo coming in, like 3-4-3, a top, 5 coach coming in. I did expect a lot crisper play.
They're still not out, that's the thing.
They're not,
but they're not looking as good as Planet Odd, and I don't want to talk about Freedom. It's like Complexity, Planet Odd, and the DC and the Team Freedom is on top.
I think the 4 Horsemen are about where we expected them to be.
I think everyone expected NP to qualify. The fact they almost didn't was a little crazy. And then these 4 teams we definitely expected, maybe in a different order though, for sure.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty standard, but that's crazy. Who do you think's been the standout player, like, overall this tournament? Anyone? Like, who'd you say?
Well, it's hard not to give it to a breakout player on a team that has far exceeded expectations, right? So
so CCNC for me.
So outside of Freedom, you know what I mean, like CCNC, who would you? That's so.
The other ones are pretty known players, pretty much.
Yeah.
So.
Of the NA region.
Of anyone in these qualifiers.
I think it's probably AUI.
Yeah.
AUI played insanely well.
Heroes that some other people have considered, maybe don't prioritize as much or have considered kind of mediocre. He's had great showings on. He always seems to be at the right place at the right time and gets his farm up. Like, if you have a prototype for, like, how you want your 4 position to play the game, like, the way he's performed is essentially what that prototype is. Like, you want him to be active, you want him to be involved, you want him to get his farm up, you don't want him to die too much, you want him to have a presence throughout the entire game. Like, that's what more can you ask out of your 4 position?
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. Aoi has just been insane, and we've seen, besides that first game, I think most of the 4 positions are really shining, right?
It's like a 4-position patch, though, really.
But yeah, it definitely feels like that, yeah.
It feels like a 4-position
I think
patch.
not enough people are giving credit to EE. I mean, he's being a part of top scene for quite years. People love the meme about him, but overall he's a very smart guy. And you can't see anyone else doing stuff like him, and it's I mean, people joke about him, how he dies all the time trying to split push, mostly has some weird moves, but it's hard to play against that kind of a Dota because you don't know what you can expect.
Yeah, exactly.
And some people are like, hey, if he's going to die all the time, put him on the beefiest hero. You got the Bristle or
he has different item builds. Yeah, he has some different lineups. He's trying out new stuff. He reminds me of Puppy, actually, in the terms of picking the heroes.
Yeah, especially like TI2 puppy, and you just pick the most random, and then you'd have like phase boot, drum, enigma. I remember that was some puppy. That was something else. I like what you say, like the beefy heroes, right? You expected that in the last game of Freedom versus NP, and that's when he pulled out that carry Furion. Like I think everyone was surprised, like, oh wow, and then it paid off very well. It was an insanely good
And
play.
you're not gonna see any weird stuff like that. You can't see it besides NP's games.
Yep, NP and maybe some of those other lower tier teams who can't pull it off, and that's why they are lower tier teams.
I guess that's C9 genes.
Yep.
One of the heroes that we've been seeing, I'm not sure if this was mentioned, but a lot more through this qualifier, or at least through this region, has been Clinks. This is a hero that had a pretty large change to his ultimate, to the Death Pact, where it lasted much longer, but the cooldown was also longer, and so it wasn't something maybe that you would have to spam or use in the middle of the fight. I actually thought that that would actually hurt his pick rate a little bit, because that hero kind of relies on, like, once he has his soul ring up, he never has to go home, right? Like, he can just constantly heal, and he's just constantly a threat to kill people, and I thought that having that cooldown, while it makes him last longer, like, better for fighting and stuff, because he doesn't have to always stop and get a sip of a creep or whatever, that it would affect his sustain a little bit. And this is a hero we've seen picked up recently in a couple of mini games. I think he's been used, I mean, the mobility is still there, obviously the presence is still there. He doesn't really clear waves, and that's something that we see some teams really prioritize, like maybe like a Complex or an MP, but he does take down towers quickly if you have the opportunity, and he does get to fights very fast. And then if you see other heroes like a Venomance or something like that, he does not want to see a Clinks. Certain heroes are just very susceptible to him.
Yeah, and what you said about that is he can't clear waves, but when you see Team Freedom pick it up for Yawar, they give Snake King, I believe the 3 games they picked Clinks, Snake King had Legion Commander twice, who's a very good creep clear, creates a lot of space for Yawar to do his thing. I think he's 3-0 on Clinks right now, while the rest is, we just saw Clinks lose.
I think like Clinks lost 2 games.
Yeah, I believe, right now, and Yawar is undefeated on it, so maybe people like trying to copy strats already. I mean, Clinks, maybe not copy strats, but you see some other team do it, and you're like, oh, I see how that works. It works out really well, and then maybe you don't execute as well as them, and it falls off.
It's hard to pull out
a
hero like Clinks.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Clinks. It's not working. It needs to be against certain lineups.
Yep.
Even though in these games you did not have a hero to solo kill. There was no solo kill potential from Clinks. That's when the hero should be picked.
Yep. I'm not a fan of Clinks.
I'm not a fan.
He's not. He's Clinks.
He's a bone.
He's just a bone archer.
Just a bone. I still think the most impressive game, I think it was Planet Odd versus Freedom. And you see a Sven versus Lycan matchup, and you're like, oh my goodness, Sven is going to destroy him. And that was the game when Yawar, Lycan, it was the, 65-minute game. They ended up winning, beating that Sven, and I think he went Treads, Midas into first item Halberd, and it owned the Sven, so bought him enough time to farm, and they're just making it really good to say. I keep saying it, but Freedom is really making really good decisions.
That's the Yawar Lycan build that's been deviating a little bit, because we usually see the Mask of Madness armlet, but he goes for that.
He goes for Vlad's like Halberd. Well, I was asking, because I was on one panel this morning for Europe. I'm like, oh, a Lycan pick. I'm like, so what do they go? He's like, Treads Mask of Madness. I'm like, oh, Yawar goes like Treads Midas. He doesn't even think about Mask of Madness, which is, I mean, a pretty big deal.
It's a situational, depends what kind of a hero they have for a mid. If it's let's say Alina, you don't need early Halberd. If it's some, I don't know, Timbersaw, whatever, you don't need it. But overall, you should have one Heaven's Halberd player in a team, hero. Actually.
Absolutely, that item's just really good now, and you're like, oh, it's really good versus range. It's only like, what, a 1 second difference from range to melee, and it can just destroy some heroes, like, insanely. If you get 2 of them, that hero, Sven, might just be straight up useless.
I remember hearing someone say that there's a pretty good chance that we could see Halberd be that item at TI the same way Solar Crest was at Kiev.
It's even more imbalanced than Solar Crest was.
But, I mean, the problem is people are starting to pick it up now during the qualifiers, and we still have a month till then. I definitely can see it getting a nerf. Sure.
There might, right after these qualifiers, probably be a mini
patch. Probably nerf Lina, nerf
Well, let's say, let's like write down like what we would predict, because, okay, update on the game, we have...
Someone is on the toilet.
Yeah, they're like going to the bathroom. There's 10 in the lobby, but...
Who is it? Out 'em now.
It is
Freedom members, I think.
What? Freedom members, they going together or what?
I mean, like, one will come back, and then someone's like, I poop, and then they go poop and stuff.
How is it you guys just had a 3-game series off. How are you guys? They're trying to tilt them. They're trying to tilt DC. I like it already.
I like it. I like it. What patch are we on? 7 point what?
0
point something.
6
0 point
C
6C?
E D B Z.
We're running out of letters.
0.6.
We'll just go with
G.
that.
Just go with G.
G.
So
You're
Lena needs a
thinking-
nerf
You're
for
thinking
sure.
Lena's going to take a hit somewhere.
Needs to.
Halberd.
Yes.
Hal's beard.
Yep.
Hal's
Queen of
Hal's
Pain,
bread.
level 25 talent.
Quap. 25.
And I want to say, after we see this, I mean, we just saw that Empire game that went 140 minutes. We casted a game that went 100+ minutes. I could definitely see. I just want to say the tier 4 regen being gone. If you watch the Empire game, like maybe the NP
it's
game wasn't, but that was actually ridiculous. So get rid of that.
Anything that's like just stalling out these games too long, for sure.
What else can I think of? Those are the biggest ones. I mean, mid heroes right now. It's mostly because the extra creep. So by giving the extra creep, you give them more stuff. You got to take someone away. You can't just give.
Maybe XP on a ranged creep. I don't know. Just
So
those little things.
these are all things that are taking away.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you'd like to give?
Buff
to-
the Bane.
Lacoste pick for the most useless hero in Dota, the Bane.
A Bane buff?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw. It was during the tiebreakers this morning. We were casting. Demon was playing Bane. My man was using sleep so perfectly. An EMP was thrown down. He slept. I believe it was Firo on his team. They dodged the EMP with the sleep. Immediately woke up and like won a team fight after it. All because of
You
Bane.
can do some clownish
You
stuff
can.
Not
with
bad
it's
for
a
the
demon
worst hero
hero,
in the
right?
game, eh, Lacoste?
Huh?
Not bad for the most useless hero in the game, eh, Lacoste?
He'll just say that he does like 9 other useless things to that one decent move or something like that.
Man, I would love to see a Bane BKB a Bane Aghanims actually work, where it puts everyone to sleep around him, right?
Something like that.
That would actually be hype.
Could-
Too bad that it's so bad.
Whoever
That
catches
is the
him,
dream.
right.
Well, it's more like the nightmare, actually.
Yeah.
Ladies and
Nice
gentlemen,
one, Jack. Sorry.
it's time for our winner bracket final of North America, the greatest country on the planet. God bless
In
Digital
the
Chaos
universe.
versus
Sorry.
Team
Milky
Freedom.
Way.
Yep. Let Freedom ring.
They probably go for the Sand King again here, or the next. I think pretty similar bans from the first time they played. Freedom has very targeted bans for teams specifically. I think a lot of teams follow this philosophy. Some are more about the meta or securing their own lineup. Freedom is a bit more about taking away your comfort zone. I think they respected Bulba's play and the roaming presence of some of these 4s that Bulba plays a lot. So if that's a ban priority for them, I wouldn't be surprised here. Yeah, there's a second.
Yep. DC will have first pick priority on this one. Do you think Freedom, though, will take something like that Lena in their first 2 pick? Do you think they find that as much of a value?
Well, usually, right now in this meta, people tend to ban position 4 heroes and first pick them, but they still might go. For CCNC, I mean, the guy is just on another level with that Lena plays.
It's just very good, very comfortable. You question whether or not you just keep giving him that while it works, or you just can wait it out throughout the draft and see if you want to kind of change things up a bit. They're given the information of the Night Stalker right now. Early bold call. I'm feeling like Mason-like in this game. I don't know why. I know I've only seen 1 pick. There's no information out there. But just so I have the possibility of looking like a really cool clairvoyant later on, I'll say Mason-like it. I don't want to look like clairvoyance. I don't know if you're heard on stream, but I can't hear you right now, Grant.
Okay.
You're back now. Hello.
What up?
Oh, can you mute him again?
Sorry, I accidentally kicked the cord. That was on me, everyone. I was actually saying some of the deepest stuff you have ever heard. Unfortunately, it's a one-time thing. My bad about that. But yeah, clairvoyance. He was, I mean, an NA guy who he's captained a lot of these teams, a lot of these players even. I know he captained Bulba as well as Mason for a while. I know he talks to Stan King. That guy is probably giving these guys some stuff. And there we go, Freedom. Thank goodness they don't. That's the only thing I didn't like about their draft for NP, right? They open up with an AA. And I just did not like that open. I don't think any of us did.
Overrated hero overall.
Yeah.
Mentioned it a few times. The speed of the
Nyx
ultimate is.
Yeah,
I don't
you
think
dodge
it's
it.
Not enough. It's so
You
easy
dodge
to
it.
dodge. Even
Yeah.
if you have a stun setup. Sanking is most usually paired up with him. You just don't get anything out of
yeah,
it.
we're gonna be seeing some Fleet or Spirit.
Yep, and I liked it yesterday for the first 10 minutes when they were playing. I just felt like Earth Spirit AA was just a bad combo. This is a little bit better, you know. Earth Spirit can give you vision. You can get that disrupt back. It can be a very powerful, just at level 1, this is a very powerful combo. Like, Disruptor's Thunder Strike is so good at level 1, and then it's just garbage the rest of the game.
It's a good
Level
response, though, to get
yeah.
something like Quap, because when you have Earth Spirit already shown on the other team, it'd be nice to have a mid laner who could dodge the aggression.
Yep, that was a good pick.
Multiple silences as well.
The Thunder Strike is not garbage. If you want to go, sometimes you can go, but I mean, the kinetic field scales so much better. But it's a 400 damage spell with 9 seconds cooldown.
Yeah, but it's 50 damage a tick at level 1, then what, it's like 70?
I mean, it's one of the best spells level 1.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it scales
But still,
really
it's
poorly.
good when you have it level 4. It's still a good spell.
True, but the other spells are better. I mean,
Yeah.
they just that's the problem. Like, it just feels bad. And do you think we're gonna see a Lina ban here? CCNC's Lina
Yeah,
has
there
been
it is.
carrying. Yeah,
Yeah, it'll
they
get
had
banned. It'll get banned. So now that she's banned and Quap's already showing, what's like that immediate go-to CCNC pickup to get
Templar
dirty
Assassin.
all over on the Quap?
I don't know if...
But they might get banned. I think. Yeah, TA is pretty good. It's rough for his Night Stalker Queen of Pain early. Obviously, the
you should
Shadow
know better.
Strike.
What's CCNC hero pool?
Puck, Lina already banned out. Queen of Pain already picked. Earthshaker, but that was just for the Ember Spirit. I mean, I wouldn't say he's limited, but I like that DC's actually banning out mid heroes instead of other teams who are like, whatever, just give him Lina. We have Quap. We're gonna hope we outskill him. This time, I think you focus around doing that.
Well, I hope he has more heroes to show,
Yep.
the same level as Puck and Lina. DC might consider banning Darkseer. It's still in the pool, especially against heroes paired up with Disruptor, Earth Spirit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, these two heroes, especially
yeah.
these three, can just win a fight alone. That's without core heroes.
I like that Darkseer.
Yeah, I saw that combo from IG, I think, back at Starladder a few months ago. One of the games that they won that they're doing pretty well. You mentioned that trifecta of heroes.
Stop trying to bring China into this, all right? This is America.
You know, Stan King can actually speak Chinese. Not well, but he can. He was the one I remember we were at the beat at Canada Land, and I remember it was like Stan King, and that was when 747 was on the team, and he's like, he tells 747, he's like, go ask the Chinese teams if they want to scrim. He's like, no, you go ask. He's like, well, I'm bad at it. He's like, so am I. And then they both win asked, but it was just funny.
Yeah, Stan King's still holding down. He's got I think a lucrative full-time job as well. While
No,
continues
he
it.
he quit, I believe, a
so
couple
chasing
of
the
months
dream.
ago. Yeah.
Chasing the dream. Because I remember the last summit we talked a little bit, and
Yep, he was still there. It's crazy. He was holding down a tough job. And look at that, a Bloodseeker ban. Who would have thought the day we would see a second round?
Yeah, that hero need to watch more SCA
Lacoste
region.
God, nice call.
It's over. They have 3 heroes that just win a team fight. I think you actually just
These
go into
3
the game
heroes
3v5.
also don't have pupils.
Oh, you're right.
I just don't want to put that out there, okay?
I don't think any of the... Well, Quap does. Night Stalker doesn't either. Huh. No,
Huh.
Most of the heroes don't. I've actually talked
What do you think the
about
logic is behind that, Jack?
this. Costs too
they
much.
don't have pupils.
Yeah.
It costs too much to program.
I'm still dumbfounded by that, man. That's,
Oracle comes out, another no pupil hero.
Wow.
Oh God, the pupil meta is
Are
over.
we seeing?
Horror.
I don't know.
I
Wait,
love
is
Oracle.
it time?
This is just a straight up
For
counter pick for
Husker, you think?
Darkseer. This is straight up no.
Husker,
Well, I mean, it's an
no.
immediate counter pick for Darkseer, obviously. This
Yeah.
used to be the
go-to.
you know, it just ruins his Iron Shells. It ruins his whole day. But you're right. There's follow-up potential there with a Huskar, I
Team
guess.
Freedom needs to pick something good, maybe even potentially a Husker,
Counter.
anti-Husker
Yeah.
hero, because they only have 1 left, and none of these 3. This is pure magical damage,
Yeah.
so they need to be careful. Get a Silver Edge carrier, something with a pure damage, maybe even.
What
do they
about...
go with the strong duel here? I
What
almost wonder
Ursa?
if they'll
Well,
go
maybe
with
they
I
like,
like
they
Ursa
could
or
go for
Sven.
Ursa.
I like
or
Sven here.
Yeah, these are the 2 heroes that rip apart.
Ooh, Sven
I
with
wonder if they gotta
Darkseer.
send somebody
Yeah.
with the Darkseer. I don't know if it could be even like an Abaddon or a
And
Legion
once
or
again,
something.
I predicted it.
Wow, Lacoste, you're
That's why
smart
I'm
or
prediction
something.
god, huh?
Yeah.
Prediction God. We'll just call you...
Until that Mason Lycan comes out.
I mean...
Whoever's called that was...
I don't think Lycan is that
Yeah.
bad here, honestly,
I
but
don't
we'll
know.
see.
I think the Oracle came out. It was like a spur-of-the-moment thing.
Yeah.
And now they're going to like work around it. I don't think you can... People don't death profit outside the mid lane, really, unless you're Envy.
Yeah.
You need a safe lane carry who builds BKB early on to remove all the magic damage coming up from
Our
these
pupil
heroes.
counts at 4.
Sven is a good choice, as you mentioned.
Is there pupils on TA?
Yeah.
Only the mids have pupils.
Warcry against calm down, boys. Warcry against Templar Assassin, Deso, and Meld.
Another no pupil hero, guys.
Yep. Enigma. Well, I don't know. He's glowing
He
pretty
doesn't
high.
need people. He's got flashlights. Look at those things.
My man's glowing.
Dude, he sees some lit shit, that's for
Yep.
sure.
Well, this is interesting. So, neither team has picked their hard carry yet, and it's actually fun. I think out of all the carries in NA, these two have the most similar hero pools, right? We've seen only Lycan of those two, Sven and Lifestealer as well. They play those really, I mean, super, super hard carries that can be active, while neither of them play something like a Gyro. It's interesting. We're definitely, I think we're going to see a Lifestealer and Sven ban. Oh, Gyro ban, so, well.
I don't know what's the
said
big.
that hero.
I don't know what's the big deal with Gyro. They might consider getting a hero that can get rid of the BKB Enigma Black Hole. They still don't have anything. Maybe
Core Venge.
Core Venge. I was thinking about when you go for, let's say, a super late game against Enigma and you don't have anything, you can build up something into like Abyssal Blade and maybe Ether Lens, and you just have the more range to cast that Abyssal Blade, just blink behind it. No, it's a really good idea.
With how long games have been going, I mean, who knows anymore?
I
Yeah.
expect to see Sven either banned or contested later on here.
Yeah, Sven is
Definitely.
actually good
I think
for
he's the
both
best.
Freedom.
of these heroes.
Freedom
for
both
sure,
of these
yeah.
teams.
Do you think they really need a... Well, they just take the Instant Weaver for Mason, okay? And now, I still feel Sven's probably their best hero. Ursa isn't terrible either. I think those two are probably the best.
By the way, no pupils on Weaver either, guys.
Does he even have eyes?
She has.
Is it?
It's a she, yeah.
Are you
you sure?
Yeah.
How sure?
Well, he spawns.
You just said he.
She. She spawns. She spawns.
Oh, not so
No
bad.
pupils on
Whoa,
Chaos Knight
whoa, whoa,
either.
whoa,
Here we
whoa.
go.
Okay, we didn't even...
Yeah,
That is a hero that can rip apart every single hero on DC. All it takes is what, one ultimate with that lucky proc to get three illusions at a level 7, 8, whenever you want to skill it, and you get
No,
one
you get
crit.
you get one extra illusion. That's the thing.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you get 3. That's what I mean. Like yourself, 1, and then that one extra. That's 3.
due.
It's a hero we've been seeing
I'm
more
saying
of.
3 Chaos Knights.
All right.
1 + 1 + 1 is 3. My NA math
Strong
is normally
NA
bad.
math right there.
It is 3. I'm gonna lose it on Lacoste. He's not understanding the meta.
I'm spending too much time with you, Grant.
Yeah, you really are.
What you need to be doing is figuring out Weaver's gender, actually. So
Yeah.
It's a she. We had a discussion. I talked to Grant about it. I said brood mother, but I meant Nerubian Weaver,
Yeah.
and it's actually a she. I mean, she spawns other spiders. Male spiders don't lay eggs. There you go.
Seahorses on the other
Yeah,
side.
seahorses.
Uh,
I was
those
correct about this when I brought it up, so.
Seahorses.
We
oh,
talked
you-
about this on the European panel I was on this morning.
Yeah, when I
What'd they
came
say?
in, Rob asked me what do you think about seahorses, and I just said that stuff, and he's like,
In
"Huh."
in the seahorse world,
The
or
males
species,
carry the babies.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they didn't know that. Draskell, OD, and Tsunami did not know
Fired.
that. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I was like, are you guys serious? Like, I'm on the NA. I'll come coach
European-
you guys. But
European
I'm
biology.
surprised that
European
the
biologist.
marine biologist himself.
the marine biologist did not get it. So
All
whose
right.
draft do you guys like? I guess we haven't talked about it. What draft do you like more? Just straight out of the gate. I kind of like Freedom after that CK pick. It melts those lower armor, lower HP heroes. And, I mean, Reality Rift, the buff to it with that minus armor is, destroy Weaver.
I like Freedom's draft a lot more, actually.
Yeah,
I
me
like the
too.
synergy they have. I feel like their lanes are, like I feel like in terms of, for example, CK illusions, doesn't feel like there's anything particularly good to deal with that. So
Quav,
eventually it's going to be, like, yeah, that's like the only source of real AoE, right? Unless you're counting the Enigma's Midnight Pulse. So
Oh,
that's
they
going to be
didn't
an
see.
issue. It's going to be hard. They have like one of those like high degree of difficulty lineups. It's like when you do like the high dive and you do like one of those crazy like twisting like pirouette type of ones
If
instead of just like the simple dive. That's what they have. They have like the crazy dive lineup.
They have a good way to deal with CK illusions in terms of Okay, Queen of Pain is a natural Mjolnir builder, so is Weaver. Also, you have Fortune's End from Oracle when they're all grouped up, so you pretty much root everyone. Also, you have Midnight Pulse, Black Hole. I said to myself that I'm not gonna bet against enemy team when they don't have anything to counter the Black Hole with.
Yeah. So you're not
Even
gonna
though
bet?
with Chaos, I love the Team Freedom lineup more, and I'm still gonna go for it. Need to test myself. CK level 25 talent, Reality Rift pierces spell immunity.
Sick.
So,
Really
I mean, it just pierces, he moves Enigma, but Enigma will still be casting the Black Hole.
Yeah.
But he might take him down from
While
a
he's
few
doing it,
shots. Yeah.
That ward is the Radiant ward they placed by Enigma's jungle at the bottom right. That ward has been placed almost every game, and it's been countered nearly every time. This time it doesn't look like it because the Earth Spirit wasn't spotted out, but I've seen that ward placed more than
why
others.
does Abed have Sentry ward?
Yeah, you think if it's like versus Ricky or something, maybe he
I mean,
thinks.
and it's not against
know.
Ricky, it's against
Exactly.
Temper Assassin Meld, so she can dodge Shadow
Just-
Strike.
yeah.
Right. We're getting smarter, Grant.
Yeah, we are, but that's if she even gets meld. I think CCNC even just trying to dodge Shadow Strikes, you don't see it that often. And here we go. The surprisingly only one middle for Freedom. Maybe they're trying to scare like, the Earth Spirit's here, but this might just be a quick kill if not.
This is a very comfort trio from Digital Chaos. The Queen of Pain Weaver, they frequently pair together. They tried to run it before with a Tide or Enigma. There's some kind of big ult usually that either sets up or stops initiation onto them, can also push out waves. So this is a pretty comfortable trio for them, but I've seen them struggle in some of these games. It feels like I think they ran this trio at the Summit as well. So.
Well, they tried to go for a kill on Enigma before he gets the lane back to a tower. They had a good kill potential with Rolling Boulder. CK didn't skill anything yet.
Yeah, he's still
But
waiting.
I don't know if that's actually worth it. Just getting a kill, he's still gonna get the lane back.
Yeah. I think they're just doing it for the surprise factor because you expected the Earth Spirit middle, and they were like, oh, maybe they won't know because he's going to roll in middle, but unfortunately the Enigma just pulls his way back way too quickly.
Enigma doesn't care, he just goes
He
to the
really
forest.
doesn't, yeah. And they have the ward on him, so they will spot him out at least, and we'll see if anyone wants to rotate up there.
Probably Dubu, or not Dubu, only because I'm naturally looking at
Francis Lee.
Dubu on
Yeah.
Earth Spirit only. It's going to be Flea to take up that position, but they have their own ward that will catch him crossing that direction.
Wait, why did Radiant fortify? It was just a misclick for no reason. I don't think it'll come back to bite him, but it could. That was odd.
Rolls down below as Bulba makes his own approach. He is going to personally try to zone back Flea, but Flea will be able to grab up that arcane rune in the mid lane. Abed.
CCNC doing amazingly well,
Yeah.
even after those rotations from Bulba.
Yep, still hanging in there with decent CS. hanging
And
with his
look at
life.
he already made the Queen of Pain use all the tangos and the flask.
There we go, another shared tango coming from Flea. CCNC, I think, probably bringing out another flask plus a stick. Roll in coming, get a miss Bulba, get 2 right clicks off on him, but now we have the lane we expected. But I think I expected this from level 1, honestly.
Oh,
And
there's
he's
the
an
jump.
aggressive blinks. There, then Abed just gonna right click him down. He fairy fires already. He's gonna be good. That's level 2 Shadow Strike, right? I assume, sorry.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, it is. I was like 45 tick. That is quite a bit.
Earth Spirit should try to help mid, and when he gets his bottle or whatever he wants to go, probably boots of speed, he should just try to get a kill on top with Iron Shell.
Yeah, that'll be his best bet early on. There's no easy opportunities in these lanes with Enigma not moving too far forward and his jungle safely scouted by wards. You know, mid lane's already not easy. Queen of Pain can blink away, and Bulba is not the easiest to catch with help nearby.
I like.
Flea's gonna need an Iron Shell for some help.
Yes, I like that he tried to kick off the Clarity Potion. It didn't matter because CCNC with a nice cleave actually took it off the Quap, so it didn't matter too much.
It must be
Another
nice being a melee hero with that side blade cleave, huh?
Yep. Yeah, you're right. CCNC is doing actually really well. It's 13-3 versus 19 and 13, but since it was a legit 1v2 lane for like 2 minutes, still keeping up.
Yeah, Bulba, level 2, first knight's gonna fall in few seconds, top, they can get a kill on top, and on mid probably. Mid, the easiest one, no meld on Templar Assassin.
He's going to steal that region from CCNC. Would have loved it. No, Abed's going to get it. They have to be careful.
Rolling in. CCNC is going to get hit with the Void. Bulba begins to slash him down a bit. No hard commitments are made at the moment, but we have some DC members at attendance. Even Dubu looking to get involved. And you can easily get off that double Purifying Flames. If he was level 3, it would be a serious case of damage, but we're going to try to make it work with just as it is. Bulba beginning to loop in from behind here.
Gonna need some TPs out like
Please
immediately.
rotating over already. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, he's going to be the first one to spot Bulba. Could just kick him straight up back, or he's going to go for the roll. That not the best choice as he rolls right to the enemy. I think it's quickly blown up. Now Stan King rotating in, drops down the kinetic field. Thunderstrike will help get the finish on the Bulba. And now Dubu kind of steps in a bit. A little bit awkward there for Flea in the heat of the moment. Tried to go for the roll, but met with the enemy. If he tried to kick one away, then go for the roll, he might have been fine.
Wow, they could have gone for a big play, tried to deny him. No one tried.
Yep.
And they could have gotten the first blood, actually.
I like the patience there from Dubu. He waited to show until the Earth Spirit had come in. But kind of just like, hey, we've only got 2 people here. You know, this Night Stalker's out of position. Please roll onto him.
Yep.
He's still here.
It seems DC's just playing their lanes a lot better than some of the other games. But he might be a little in trouble. He's going to get trapped. He's going to get rolled on. Orb of Venom's going to be up. CCNC would love this kill if he could get it. Can he get close enough? And they do. They give it to him, too. Flea could have taken that last hit, but smart to give it to him. And look at that. The 3-man perfectly timed Shrine. Heal them all up. That's a good rotation kill. They're still down in gold, but that takes a lot of pressure off the map. And, I mean, Yawar's just been having a great time bottom, but Mason is well top.
Yeah.
Here's the smoke.
Feeling a bit frantic for DC. This is supposed to be their time. This is their nightfall right now, and you're at 6 minutes in. They still haven't been able to do a lot, so they quickly hit a smoke, and they just try to go somewhere else to make something happen. Forev is not level 6 yet, but he's happy to dish out the Malphus. Here comes all the follow-up onto Yawar right now. He turns around with the stun, but he's still getting chased without any additional lockdown. He will simply ride away from trouble.
I mean, if you just do a simple match, you see that you don't have enough damage to kill that CK.
Yeah, look at his
It's
armor.
just a lot of time wasted for DC.
He's got the HP, and he's also fast. He's one of the faster heroes in the game. And this kind of goes back to Night Stalker. If he spends too much time mid and doesn't get a kill or anything out of it, then by the time the first night comes, he's not at least level 3. Just level 2 still right now running around, and then that just negates his presence.
Yawar, though, is still flirting a bit close to trouble. Bulba runs in. He's able to get close enough for the Void and makes it worth it now.
Did he buy his Midas recipe? Sorry, he was super close.
No.
He did not.
No.
Ouch.
Caster's
You just figure, you know, you avoided that first gank. He's hiding under the tower. It's been long enough. Maybe Bulba's gone, but not the case.
Yep. Now Abed, we've seen him. He outplayed Weehaw a lot middle. Just out CS'd him most of the game. Even outplayed him a few times getting kills against Weehaw. And now he's doing pretty darn good against CCNC. Obviously a little favorable lane for the Quab. But there's gonna be are there any ancient stacks for this young man? Oh, there sure are. That's gonna be the comeback mechanic per se, and look at that, they have plenty of them.
Yeah, good stacks probably assisted from Flea and company nearby, but those are going to get scouted out now, and they're going to drop the wards to keep tabs on those precious stacks.
Saw Dubu with that trap.
Yep. And he will avoid the possible rotation gank that's been coming in from DC here.
We haven't seen much top lane. Weaver's just been farming top CS in the game, and Snake King 34-0. He's getting experience. I mean, you don't really need him to do too much this early. You just want to get experience and levels. He might be a little in trouble here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Dubu was on the mid and on the bottom. If he stayed top, they could rotate Earth Spirit there and get a kill on him.
Yep.
But him running around actually made him unkillable.
Oh, and he uses his Q actually really early there instead of saving it for Purge, but they I don't think they were going to get, well, they might have gotten that kill. Just heat of the moment.
Yeah, you just spaz out that moment. You'd probably want to lead in with the Purifying Flames, force out a Surge or something, cancel it with the Q, and then hit him with another Purifying Flames. Just overthrow Oracle things.
Yep, just overthrow Oracle things. I know you're an Oracle spammer in that mode, pretty broken with the Aether Lens, but that's for a different time. We'll discuss overthrow. I think we're the only two played here.
Just saying, if they want to come out with a league sometime soon, it'd be appreciated.
Got you. And there's the Midas, though, actually. 8 minutes in, about 9 minutes in for Yawar. And we talk about that hero. You want to get Tread's Armlet, but if you go Tread's Armlet and don't get like 10 kills, that hero falls off so quickly in the farming game.
Yeah, that's why he needs Hand of Midas.
Yep.
That's the only item that can keep him alive. No matter what you build, the hero can't farm Except Battle Fury, which you don't want to go for.
That would take way too long, yeah. And then you have a Battle Fury, and you're like, oh, cool.
And no stats.
Yeah, exactly. Disruptor level 5, that's actually, I mean, at 9 minutes in for Stan King, he's been just pulling a little bit bottom. It's not too bad. What's their kill? Oh, they can definitely pull him back. When they have ult, I guess, from Disruptor, that's a really easy quap kill if he was level 6 there.
Yeah. Luckily for him, throughout 30 seconds, if they value it enough, they could give him the tome. But poor Flea over here is really starved for XP, while Stan King's hitting a lot. You also want Earthspirit to get magnetized at a decent time, because that's his next peak. He wasn't able to kind of get any real successful early gank action in, so getting magnetized and making some big team fights happen with mass silences and stuns would be swell.
Yep, Dire sees this happening.
I think you want that tome on Disruptor for sure, because it threatens both the cores of DC immediately as soon as it's up, and they could probably get a kill with it if they time it well. And
he could have just been over here leeching this big monster stack for 6, but okay.
I think they just want CCNC. They're like, oh, come on, dude. You've been carrying us for a lot of these. War gets his farm. You make the early game, and ooh.
Now he might wish that the support was close to leech it, because he's trying to make a move for Dubu. Oh, my God! 3 shots him down. See you later, nerd. Nubu is gone and put into a locker.
BKB, I mean, not BKB, Black Hole possibly coming out, but...
And then he just walks away from that one.
Wow. And they rotate
This is the worst spell in the game to use, Reality Rift. Especially if the hero is going into the fog. You're just hopping around on the horse.
Yeah.
Look at my
Whoa,
horse.
here we go, rolling. They're going to go for him. They get the stun out. They have double Ion Shell. My man is actually, I think it's just single, but it doesn't matter. He's just melting. And there we go. Quick kill onto Bulbin. It's a 4-2 lead now. That was a strange kill CCNC got, right? The Weaver and the Quab were there, and he just 3 shots your Oracle in front of you. He's like, oh.
He just, excuse me for a moment. Let me see that Oracle back there.
Yep. And I think if Abed had his ult, right, I think he would have got the kill, but he didn't have mana, and that's why you always carry like 12 clarities on Quap now. You just keep bearing him in, even through 30 minutes, just so he can always have mana. Even TA, I think we're going to see CCNC.
Yeah, add that on the list.
Oh, yeah, clarity.
Clarity.
How you nerf clarity? Cores are not allowed to buy it after.
No, I think you take off the bullshit they added where, oh, if neutral creeps hit you, it doesn't take it off.
Oh.
Your potion, you're getting hit by something. Why the hell is it still on you?
Well, they just added that, and if it's gonna apply to like
but that's not how
cells,
Ice Frog functions. He doesn't add
as a support player, I love that.
stuff and then just
this is
remove
not good.
them.
CCNC is super low. He wanted to use that shrine. Doesn't look like he'll find it. Instant blow up. Yawar might be in trouble. They all want to use the shrine. That was such a good rotation. Stan King might save him though. It's not the best ulti, but it might save him. They're going in. Actually, Dubu's in a lot of trouble. Hilariously
second
enough
night
again.
as well.
It is. Will they be able to at least bring down Dubu? That Ion Shell so close. He's going to get it. No, he purges it off. Nice double kill by Abed. And he gets the boulder, but he might be in trouble now.
Yeah, Abed looking to go for a triple kill here onto Flea.
He
Flea, can he juke away from this one? No. A triple kill will be rewarded to the Queen of Pain.
Uh-oh. Bulba's in a little bit of trouble getting chased down by Darkseer here, but it's nighttime with phase boots.
One thing that's becoming apparent is kind of the support interaction in this game. So, like the Night Stalker, like just a real big bully against most supports.
Yeah.
What it has allowed him to do is get out very deep vision if you look at the dire wards on the Radiant side. And so if you have these experience-dependent Freedom supports who can't really man-fight the Night Stalker, they're either spending time stacking, or they're sitting in lane, or they're trying to rotate. That makes them miss out on experience and on putting down their own vision. So when you see that situation right there, Team Freedom didn't have vision at their own shrine. They were walking uphill into several enemy heroes camping their own shrine. That's not a good situation to be in at this point in the game.
Yeah, they were trying to use it with both their core. They were trying to get the value out of it, and it's like DC knew that was going to happen, and they punished him real badly for it. Both your major cores.
Yeah, and they're playing with 3 heroes. DC right now, first 15 minutes, it's only Night Stalker, Queen of Pain, and Oracle.
Yep. Ooh, and they're just, I mean, they're diving at tier 2s at this point, and you have a Darkseer who doesn't have much farm. Disruptor can't really do much without the rest of his team, and they're going to see Snaky here. He could be in a little bit of trouble, even though he's under that shrine. They're going to have more TBs in. It's going to be Disruptor. We're definitely going to see possibly a kill on Dubu, more than likely. Yeah.
Send the Disruptor in first so he can get the glimpse on back. It's a cheap little target in Dubu, but Yawar will be happy to take it.
Yep, but they need to get something else out of that. You only killed a 198 gold Dubu, and you rotated all your cores in again for 1 kill.
Yeah, plus you have Enigma, who was free farming bottom with 0 deaths, has enough gold to buy a Blink Dagger. 14 minutes in, this Enigma is on top of net worth,
Yeah,
actually.
he is super buff.
He's just been here the whole time. I mean, he didn't bother with any of the other stuff going on. He was just here making his own galaxy of farm in the bottom lane.
Even Mason wants to go for Midas. He feels like he doesn't need to contribute. They can hold the game with Queen of Pain being so farmed at and with NS.
Yeah.
What? 2, 4. Okay, NS is saving 1 point still in the skills. If nothing happens during this night, so he can have. Okay, he just killed it.
Yeah, that's just Mason too. Mason is probably one of the most, like, he just loves Midas, and they're gonna try to surge in, maybe get a kill Dubo on the back. They caught a glimpse of him. Unfortunately, they couldn't get him back, and now Bulba's here. This is a very big possible 3v3 fight top, but looks like Freedom disengages. And Blink now up, so they have an Enigma Blink on one side and a TA Blink on the other. Obviously, one wants to team fight, while TA wants to go maybe pick up Dubu a bunch of times with it. And there it is, the Mason Midas on a Weaver. Interesting.
That's just, you know, a little bit of confidence coming out from DC, saying that they're in firm control of this game.
They could punish you. I mean, one big team fight, like you said, Disruptor is obviously 6. We see the Earth Spirit 6, and I mean, Snake King 6 too. Just one combo on your team, and like all those Midases, you're like, oh my, why'd we get these?
Let's see if DC changes gears here a little bit. I think this is one of the hardest things for teams to do. Like when you have a certain, when you have like your strong point, like you want to play a certain way at the start of the game, but then you reach a point that's more of a nadir, and you have to kind of switch things up a little bit, and maybe be careful, otherwise you give back that advantage. I think with those Midases up, and with like the ultimates and the other combos starting to come online for Team Freedom, I think DC has to be a little bit careful here. If they get roped into a bad fight, they could very easily give up what they took so long to build.
Yeah, that's what we talked about, that not the tri-core, obviously, of Team Freedom, but the two supports, the tri-core of fighting on their team. And they just want CC and C to farm and get online. And this is, I mean, this is pretty much how most games go. You actually get a lot of action in those first 10 minutes, and then it kind of falls off because both teams want to farm, and the team who's ahead usually just gets farther and farther ahead. Like DC's been up 1K, now 2K, and now they're going to be up 3K, and Freedom has to, they have to get kills with these smokes.
Yeah, and it's going to keep happening even more because NA invented Dota, so everyone's going to copy it. And that's how other regions going to play.
Here we go.
Long
Roll's going to come in. There's a Dubu there. That's a nice silence. He gets the stun off. Do they have any other silences? They need to bring him back. Nice reality rift in. Oh, but the ultimate from Dubu. He's going to take so much. He just needs to get out and cast ult. He is going to. We're going to see a send back coming from the Enigma. They're going to get Dubu. They're going to get Bulba. The Weaver lives. Thank goodness for Dubu. But they're going to lose a tower for this, and that's good. You get 2 kills and a tower. If it was just...
Someone just canceled TP on top.
Yeah.
Not the perfect Disruptor ulti. Once again, he missed.
Yeah. But the reality rift back in at least saved him from looking like the complete fool.
Okay, oh, this is big for DC. Queen of Pain with 480 damage, 380 damage pure, with invis from behind the tower.
But they're all hiding. He's going to give up on it.
They're waiting to get a jump back onto Mason, it would appear, but as Mason comes into the lane, he only rolls on forward, so the grip's not going to be there, but they catch him with the stun this time. But that's when Abed shows himself, jumps right in, gets off the screen, gets glimpsed all the way back down below the tower again. But Snake King now tries to hide within the trees. Abed will simply walk in and finish him off.
Dire's scanning down bottom. They want to know what's up, and they see Blue actually running towards CC&C.
Oh!
Nice.
Jumps over them.
Still get hold, I believe.
Meld, but they got the dust and the sentry and the black hole. They suck him on up.
And they finally get him with just the offlaner and 2 supports, and that's a big kill. I love how they used the scan below the tower. They thought he was there, and then they saw him, and now Flea's in a lot. I mean, he's dead.
Yeah,
he can get ulted after that silence.
Sonic Wave? No, not even necessary. Oh, wait. Pops some one. Turn around. Static Storm. Yawar shows up. Stun. And it's not enough yet to be able to burst him. Abed gonna be able to blink away, but he waits for the glimpse first and then blinks down and goes for the TP. Makes it away. Vacuum's
and
there, but it's just a bit too late.
This is why he's 10K.
Yeah. Second, like we said, now from 3K to 6K on DC, even though the kills are nearly even, they're just making way more out of the kills they get, and then they punish. Like, they're punishing a tier 2 bottom now. Man, DC looks like a whole new team from yesterday. We just saw the series they just played, and even now, they just look way better than they had before.
Lincoln's such a good item this game. against Disruptor, against CK. They don't have any lockdown once you get those linkages up. You need to place Disruptor ulti, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. And we've seen when these snowballs start happening on one of the teams, like, you got to stop this before it gets up to 9 or 10K. You need a team fight with that Darkseer. You need to stop the bleeding right now, but it's going to be so hard. Enigma's going to have hole again at 90, and you can't really fight during that. He's going to have BKB next hole. And we haven't seen anything from CCNC except him farming and then dying once bottom. He is coming middle now with that blink. He's, what, 600 away from that next Deso or so. They want to kill now. And I praised him for their smokes actually being able to get kills, but they're looking a little bit lost right here. Weaver's coming out. They might see him. They might know something's up as well, because look, he just gets out of there.
And these heroes are so hard to kill, especially when they're farmed.
Yeah.
They have to commit so much to actually get a kill. Disruptor ulti, probably even ES ulti.
Yep. Man. Some more of the same from NA. Get that lead, just slowly increase it. CCNC's gonna try Thanos Tower. He wants to kill so he can get that Deso. It gives the threat of Roshan. Uh-oh. They blink out quickly after that dust.
Yeah.
Whew. Could have been real bad for Freedom there, but they play it nice and smooth. They're not getting too crazy yet. Yuar's coming in now. Snake King's coming in. It's 5-man middle for the Radiant. Meanwhile, Dyer's missing 2. One of them TP's in, and the other one's TPing in as well. This CK is getting destroyed. That ulti's going to come out. They're just zoning with Disruptor right now. Can they do anything? Snake King, does he have mech? He must have already used it. Get a vacuum him back. Yuar goes down in the front line. Snake King should as well. Stan King trying to TP in front of him. Flea drops. And that's just a nice 5-man team fight from DC. What is Snake King's build right now? Just, I guess, skill and item. He has mech, he used it. He has one in wall, didn't get to use it. It's just...
Yeah, they didn't connect their spell. They need to pretty much execute it really well if they want to win a fight. But even after that, it's hard to fight for them. Night Stalker, Queen of Pain, Weaver, and Oracle can still fight. Enigma now has a BKB and a Black Hole, so we can expect DC to try and maybe even contest Roche, because that's the only way Team Freedom can get back into the game. Win one more team fight and then go to Roche. They have a good Roche lineup with a TA.
Yeah, but you see that Yuar TP's in, and he wants to kind of maybe get a return kill with Disruptor glimpse back, but there's a Lincoln's on Weaver now, so they can't really do anything.
Yeah, the openings here for Freedom are just getting thinner and thinner, it would appear. They're trying to bulk rush CCNC's farm, but he hasn't even been able to finish out his Deso here, and now he'll be able to get it in hand as he tries to build up forward into what looks like the Hurricane Pike. They got to make a fight happen here. They're rushing up top to try to do so, but it's going to be Flea who just gets rushed in the face with a quick burst of damage and a silence. And now the darkness comes out, and it's going to be DC on the prowl, looking to go onto CNC, and he tries to fight it out from this one, but they lock him down with the Black Hole. Solo invested for him once again to help secure the finish. A responding Static Storm's going to be there, but Freedom are crumbling, it looks like, before Digital Chaos at this point.
Yep. Alba gets the Void off, so can't TP away, and that's a 3-for-1 trade, or 3-for-0 trade. And that's what we see. Just the winning team just pressures their advantage, takes towers. They're going to take one tower here, back up, and keep farming. It's very efficient play style. Ooh.
You feel bad for going against yourself there, Lacoste, about
against
how they did
BKB Enigma once again.
BKB
yeah,
Enigma. Enigma looks just so good this game. Looks like such a good pick in the draft. He was not really contesting the laning phase, and as long as he was able to be greedy and build up to this point, there's not going to be much to stop him. But here we go. Freedom.
This is the thing I was talking
Yeah,
about.
the horse just can't do anything. Kick's going to come out. Miss, actually, it is going to hit Enigma in the back. They want to get someone. It might be just, they need more than Dubu here if they want, but they can.
They always are stuck just having to settle for Dubu in these fights.
Because it was nighttime, they didn't see the boulder connected on Enigma, and they might have been able to get him because of that boulder kick, and he didn't have blink up. But that's nighttime for you. And they're going to go for Roche out of this. No Black Hole, no Oracle right now. Darkness is ending in what, 20 seconds here.
It's going to be hard against the bugs.
Yeah.
Bugs already going out. Yep. Connecting on to CCNC. Yuar's on the outside. Caught a bit of a midnight pulse. Flea trying to rotate in to help him out, but Mason's already beginning to go to work onto Stan King here on the other side. It's Flea. Gonna go down after trying to drop out a bit of a magnetize. Over here, Stack Storm had been committed on top of Mason. They try to turn around and stun and hit him down, but he has a time lapse to fall back on, dishes it out there, and looks to move right away for Stan King on those back lines, leaving Yawar to fend off against the others. Dubu is in the action now, has to force a self-false promise, which I think will ultimately lead to his death. No, he barely lives on. Yawar begins to fight it out with Bulba on the other front. Mason finally gets his cleanup with Stan King, and then there they move in and get Yawar down too. This one's feeling like all DC all day. 9-18. Now they can move in for the Roche.
Yep.
And they will.
We haven't really seen. I mean, with the TA, you want to move forward. You want to get a lot of farm, and you want to pressure the map. Playing a passive TA, I mean, you can't. A passive TA just doesn't exist. It's
Look
game
at
losing.
Snake King.
Here we go.
He gets silenced right away, running into the action here. And on his way out, they're going to get him with a big old black hole. Roping him up.
Impossible to fight for Team Freedom. Even if they get their spells correctly, I still don't think that they can win a fight, especially once they... Okay, who has Aegis? Yeah, Queen of Pain has Aegis and almost enough gold for Lincoln Sphere. With these two heroes are pretty much unkillable. With they need to focus Weaver with a time lapse, also they need to focus someone who has a false promise on, so pretty much unkillable heroes on the PC side.
It's a tough game for CK, not just in lane, but he's kind of, so he's a little bit like Sven in the sense that there's this kind of like burst, but like Avatar or like big old cooldown base for him that he basically has to fight with. The other problem though is that since he usually doesn't get a blink dagger, when he uses the illusions, someone either is already locked in place or it basically commits him to the fight. And so you look at the very mobile cores coming out from DC, like they would have to already be caught in basically the Disruptor Static Storm or combo to even be in danger of being killed. And then when CK shows up, like he has to time his ultimate very well, or he doesn't have much time left to deal any damage, and it just very clearly commits him to the fight. Yep. So that's been kind of an issue where he doesn't want to come in immediately with the ult because then DC knows exactly what's going on. But if he comes in to start the skirmish and say he takes a couple rounds of damage, suddenly his illusions aren't anywhere near as strong, and then his ult doesn't do much anymore. It's a tough spot for CK this game.
Yeah, it felt like they needed to get more done, right? Like that's why they committed a tri-lane down bottom to try to kill the Enigma at level 1, which made CNC weaker because the Night Stalker, it was a 2v1 lane, and then Enigma just sat back. They didn't get a gank on there, and it was like a whole wasted 2 to 3 minutes that punished 2 lanes of theirs with that CK. And I mean, he's supposed to melt heroes. He can't even melt anyone. It may be Dubu who can just ulti himself if he really wants. There's no one for him to go on anymore.
Grant, what do you think about the fact that Abed's so good and he has never been alive at the same time as Tupac Shakur?
And that is very interesting. Is that that's the same with Sumail too, right?
I think it's the same with anybody who is 20 years old or younger.
It's same with like it's same with like a good chunk of the Dota scene in terms of players.
Yeah, I don't know.
It is crazy. He's 16, right?
Yeah.
10K, 16, carrying his team.
Yep.
It's nuts.
Yeah, and we saw him. He should dominate that middle lane with Bulba there, but I mean, sometimes you can crumble. But like I always say, all it takes is one good day to do something right. Like they had 2 terrible days. Their round robin days were horrible. Now they're having their one good day. They're about to be in the grand finals. If they take this game, I would say is 95%. They lock down. They don't let Snake King get off some crazy whole thing. If they just play like NP did versus Freedom, you know, it's going to be a little bit slower. Just get those 2-3 hero kills, go back farm, 2-3 hero kills, farm. That's all you have to do. This game's very unthrowable.
Looks like we are going to get into the game and find out if you are right or not, but I feel like most of us here would be in agreement. But Freedom,
they're going to keep trying.
They're going to keep trying. We'll have to see how desperate they're going to be, how crafty they can be, how creative and imaginative.
Yep.
Adventurous.
It's hard to play right now from Team Freedom sides. You need to do something and everyone knows it, but it's impossible to execute it. I mean, it's still possible, but you need to play it to perfection, get a 4-man vacuum ball into Earth Spirit and Disruptor ulti, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, and look at they're just running around as 5 right now, not even smoked. They just ran through their own from bottom to their own jungle to middle as 5, absolutely doing nothing.
The thing is, when you're in this position, you make so much more mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Just feel helpless.
Yeah.
Especially given how mobile DC's 2 cores are. So.
As well as a Night Stalker when it's nighttime. Yeah. And that's what they're going to do. They're just going to keep pressuring. They're going to keep out farming him because of that mobility. And they're farming 2 lanes and the jungle while Freedom's struggling to just farm 1 lane.
The thing with these kind of combo lineups is it works very well with counter initiation. So let's say you have somebody who you're pushing behind and it's like an immediate threat to Digital Chaos. And then you have the combos to back it up or take a fight. That's not really been the case at all. Like due to their start, there's nothing that really threatens or creates any sense of urgency on the part of DC. So they don't have to, they can kind of just run around and split up the map if they want. Here they go onto the Weaver.
Oh, and he
actually rolled in, but the follow-up kick is not going to be there. They drop the stack storm. They're all in for Mason, but Baref comes in from behind and drops down the Galaxy right onto the head of Freedom, and that's an immediate GG. Snake King's like, I don't even want to look down that hole. Holy shit, we're done.
Yeah, well, it's a good time to call it.
It's a really good time,
they don't want to be bullied for the next 5 minutes trying to defend the base. They didn't connect any of the combos planned to. So.
Yeah, I definitely think sometimes maybe you don't want to call early good game. That was the best time. I mean, that was not even early. I mean, the game's over. They
just
could
get the
drag it out. Yeah, exactly. Like
just
regroup. Even if you lose this series, you're still in it. You don't want to get caught up in one game and use all your energy to possibly come back down from 30,000.
DC's a scary team that you want to be hot. You know, you're saying they have a lot of off days and then you just need to have one on day. And DC are one of those teams that when they have an on day, it's hard to stop them when they're on that kind of hot streak tear.
Yeah, because it's not like they're even changing up their drafts. They're still like Forev had like just garbage Enigma games yesterday. That was plain and simple. And this today, perfect Enigma game. Like it really is just a day-to-day thing. I mean, we're all humans, right? Even the 16-year-old godlike mid player.
Yep, Jack, your insight in the game while I draw something.
I was going to say, are we going to add maybe Night Stalker or something to that list? Are we going to add...
Do you think he's worth it?
Sand King, Nyx, any of that trifecta of these super strong fours and roamers adding to that list?
I don't think... I think Sand King's more broken than Night Stalker. I mean, they gave Night Stalker a free lane to just sit middle and harass CCNC. That was on Freedom, right? Like, they could have put the Earth Spirit middle to kind of stop that, but they didn't. I still think those 3 heroes are really good, but I don't think they're...
Who would you pick MVP for game number 1?
I mean, the best. I mean, you always want to pick the mid player, Abed, but I would say Bulba's early roaming and just getting vision down the map probably just secured it.
Yeah. I'm agreeing with Grant there on Bulba. Just again, like nothing super flashy or super crazy, but it was just solid. Like what he did, the pressure that he applied at all times, both to mid lane and to bottom, getting the kill onto the CK, the vision that he was able to put down. It just, the chokehold was Bulba started the chokehold and they just never let go.
That was their first pick too, that Night Stalker.
Yeah, a lot of these games end in another, I don't know how to call it, flashy way. There's not a big team fight, so they just lose a fight or just get a pick off, kill 1-2 heroes who don't have a buyback, and pretty much the game is over.
Yep, that's pretty much, I mean, that's what the whole this NA meta, like you watch other series and it feels like what you just said,
well,
there's
why
a
do you
big
keep
flashy
calling
team
it NA meta? It's going to be a worldwide meta
but
anyways.
Is it right now?
Yeah, but it's going to spread worldwide because everyone's going to copy it.
Yeah, but we watched it. We've watched Europe, like, we watched Europe today, and they still haven't copied it. They're playing support Sven and taking big team fights.
Yeah, because it takes time to adjust.
So it's an NA meta.
Some of them, you need to experience it firsthand. Like, maybe they just need to get their ass beat by it first, and they go, oh,
yeah, we got the Underlord in SCA. China's got the Bloodseeker. Like every
I'm sleeping during those times, so I have no idea what's happening. They're playing Underlord.
Fnatic has run Underlord basically every game. They have a solid plan with the Underlord.
And we just have Dota the 2, who he played it a few times and it looked good, but he didn't make it look like you should ever pick it.
We keep our Abaddons and stuff like that over here. All right, so we have a game number 2 coming on up, but first we got to cut to a short break, so please come right back and enjoy our company once again. Myself, Lacoste, Grant, and Jack will see you soon for Game 2 of Freedom versus Digital Chaos.